So after years of ineptitude from Hollywood to give us a good video game adaptation, is this the one? Do we finally get the one and first great video game movie? Is it possible? Please? And with that, I'm working with to another episode of the Romantic Room. My goal, as always, is to enhance your movie watching experience. So Tomb Raider, here we go again, 3 times the charm. Maybe, of course, Tomb Raider based off the video game on PlayStation back, I think came out in 1996. I've been a big fan of the game series. Not so much of the movies, of course, with Jolie. Jolie was fine in them, but the movies were kind of a mixed bag for the most part. Now we have here Alicia Vikander, who I love. I fell in love with her after watching Ex Machina. She's an Academy Award winner, very great actress. Not the kind of, I didn't really picture her in this role initially. I mean, she doesn't have the look, the assets, I guess, if you can say, for lack of a better word, that Jolie has. But she was actually, I thought, even better than Jolie originally. I think she brought something different to the role as Lara Croft. You can tell she really worked out. She looks great, very physical. You believe that physicality that she has in the role. She brought a little more, a different take to it. It's a more realistic, it's a more realistic character. With the original Tomb Raider movies with Jolie, it seemed like a cartoon character. It seemed like a video game in a real world setting. This one is more like a true to life character, someone we may know. And that's good to him. You can relate to that. It's an interesting take on the role itself. Now, does this mean this movie is like the first good video game movie? No, not exactly. It doesn't really live up to that. I can't honestly sit here and tell you Hollywood finally got it right. They did it, because I think that they just barely missed the mark. And every year it's the same thing with these movies. And I want to say, I'm a huge video gamer, and I want to see a great adaptation of a video game, and they just haven't done it yet. And this, for me, I'm a big football fan. And I'm a Redskins fan, which, of course, every year I live in misery when it comes to football. But despite all the ineptitude we get on the field, every year I'm thinking, this is the year we're going to the playoffs. This is the year we're going to the Super Bowl. I still get excited, have that hope. And after the first 4 or 5 games, I'm thinking, what draft pick am I going to go for next season? Now, ultimately, Tomb Raider isn't that bad. It's more like an 8-8 season where they're average, just middle of the road. And this is what this movie is. It's very middle of the road. Not a bad movie per se, but not a very good one either for many reasons. Yes, Vikander is great. I like her in the role, and it was set up nicely to where I wouldn't mind seeing her down in the future if they will inevitably make a sequel to this. And the direction is fine. It looks really good. Some of the CG is a little off, but for the most part, it's shot really well. The action is done well. There are some exciting sequences in here where I think audiences will enjoy, and ultimately this will be a good watch at home as opposed to going out to the theaters. You can have some fun with this movie, but the problem is that the writing, the narrative is. This movie is just lazy in terms of the writing. There's not much given to a lot of the characters, particularly someone like Walter Goggins, who plays the villain here, who I like. He's really underrated. If you guys are familiar with him from the Hateful Eight, I thought he stole the show there. And of course, TV shows like The Shield and Justified, he was fantastic in. And here, he's got good presence, and he has the makings of a good villain. He just has nothing to do. He's one-dimensional. He's not in the movie all that much. And he's just so one-note, which is unfortunate, because that's just a waste of talent right there. But it goes beyond that. I mean, ultimately, this is a movie like Tomb Raider, where I liked the more realistic, down-to-earth approach they took over it, instead of the campy, over-the-top nature of the first 2 movies. But this movie, I forgot to inject some fun here, some imagination, some life. This movie is kind of bland. I was bored for most of the movie. And towards the end, it kind of picked up and moved along to what I figured Tomb Raider should be about, more along the lines of Raiders of the Lost Ark and The Last Crusade. There's remnants of that, not quite to that level, of course. But unfortunately, it lacked that, and the writing itself, the emotional punch which it tried to have with her in the relationship with the father, it just didn't work at all, unfortunately, and it really fell flat along those lines. So, I'll say this is the best out of Tomb Raider movies and one of the better movie adaptations, but the bar is set really low there. I could say I'm taller than Peter Dinklage, but that doesn't mean I should play in the NBA. That doesn't make me tall. And this is the problem with this movie. It's better than some of the stuff we've seen, but not quite to the level what I was expecting. So Tomb Raider, you guys are going to watch it. Let me know what you guys thought. Comment below. And of course, as always, if you haven't done so, subscribe below and feed money to go to the movies and talk about it afterwards. See you guys next time.